Live from Fox 13 Studios, this is Fox 13 News at 9.
Investigators are trying to figure out what killed a man at the Williams-Opal natural gas processing plant in Opal, Wyoming. The plant reported the death this morning and says there was not an explosion or a fire. The plant was closed today while an OSHA team made sure the facility is safe. Senior operations manager at the plant, Dan Callan, released this statement saying, in part, "We are deeply saddened by the loss of our colleague and want to express our deepest condolences to his family. Our top priority right now is to keep the site secure and conduct a thorough investigation." This isn't the first death at the Williams plant. In 2014, an explosion killed one man and injured two others. A 35-year-old employee suffered severe burns and later died. In national news, California has become the first state to make it illegal to use killer whales for breeding or entertainment. Governor Jerry Brown signed the bill into law yesterday. The California Orca Protection Act won't actually go into effect until next June. SeaWorld voluntarily ended its orca breeding program about 6 months ago and says next year it will replace its current shows with what it calls educational encounters.
Draper City is cutting ties with Unified Fire Authority and starting its own fire department. Fox 13's Tamra Vaifanua has more on how the city plans to make the transition within the next year.
It's an area that's prone to large fires. Earlier this year, flames burned dangerously close to homes in Corner Canyon. Now the city of Draper wants to take on more of that risk. They're dissolving their relationship with Unified Fire Authority and starting its own fire department.
And that's something we haven't had control over because as a contractor, we just pay the bill that comes to us.
Troy Walker, mayor of Draper City, says putting the control back in the city's hands will allow them to manage costs and be more accountable to the public. For $5.5 million, the city says they can keep 11 firefighters on staff per day, as well as their ambulance services to provide the same quality of service compared to paying UFA $6.8 million a year.
We have an opportunity to look at our citizens right in the eye and discuss what it costs for public safety.
Did Draper ditch UFA in light of their recent financial problems? Last month, Fire Chief Michael Jensen stepped down as auditors looked into questionable expenses on gas cards, purchase cards, and incentives.
I know the timing looks like it might have, but honestly for me, it had absolutely no bearing on it. This math problem that we've had has been the same math problem for a number of years.
Walker believes he has a solution. He has hired Clint Smith as the new fire chief, a native of Draper who serves as Unified's Emergency Medical Services Bureau chief. Smith is no stranger to politics. As a son of a former Draper mayor, he too served as mayor for the city of Harriman. Walker says Smith will work on bringing a community spirit to his new department.
He's well trained and well versed and well respected, so we're very excited.
In Draper, Tamra Vaifanua, Fox 13 News, Utah.
4 Utah men are being recognized by the city of Lehigh for their life-saving actions. Only 3 of them are pictured here: Nick Sorensen, Nate Hurst, Alex Mangis, and Kurt Joyner administered CPR to a 64-year-old man suffering from cardiac arrest last August. They immediately went to work to save his life. The Lehigh Fire Department hopes more people will learn from their actions. The department is launching a program to encourage more people to step in and help. Well, state fairs are known for their bizarre competitions, and ours is no different. If you can't tell, this is a milk chugging competition. It may seem easy, but if you drink too much milk too quickly, you might find it's hard to keep it down. But that's just what these contestants had to do, and we spoke with the winner.
It looks a lot easier than it is, but I love milk, so it works out well.
To love milk a lot. And though it's fun to watch, you don't want to try this at home.
I had a young friend one time take a half-gallon of milk and opened his gullet and poured it down. He didn't, you know how you do with milk? No, straight down his throat and into his stomach.
Did he throw up after?
No.
Yeah, I was going to say how that.
No, he didn't. He kept it down. I don't know how he did it.
Well, he should have entered the competition.
He
would have won. Yeah.
He could have won.
I've seen a couple chugging competitions, not milk. But
Have you
Of course you have.
All right.
Those ones he's competed in.
Yeah.
Anything you say can be used against
go
you.
ahead and look at
The court of law.
Oh, well, let's look at what's going on tomorrow. So temperatures actually tomorrow will be pretty similar to today along the Wasatch Front. We hit 70 today in Salt Lake. Low 70s tomorrow, partly cloudy skies. Today, obviously, we had the mostly cloudy skies in the afternoon and all the thunderstorms. Much drier air beginning to move in the overnight hours. Our best chance for precipitation will be overnight tonight into very early tomorrow morning, similar to what we had this morning, but just not as strong as what we had early this morning. So 52 in the mountains, again, partly cloudy skies and some cool temperatures. Now, in the Uintas, we could see some thunderstorms in the afternoon, the Uintas and southwest Wyoming, but outside of that, looks like just drier air continues to move in. We saw that drier air in southern Utah today, and that will continue tomorrow with temperatures warming into the upper 80s and mild temperatures here in the southeast with right there in the low 80s, again with sunny conditions. So sunny and warmer tomorrow in southern Utah, and then we just keep warming it up all the way through the early part of next week. Plenty of sunshine, slightly cooler on Tuesday and Wednesday. For northern Utah, low 70s, mid 70s. We're right around 80 to mid 80s over the weekend. Beautiful looking weekend. We see some more clouds rolling in and a slight cooling trend again by Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah, it's starting to really feel like football weather now that we're into the week 3 of college football.
Yeah, we've talked a lot of Cougars and a lot of Utes recently for good reason, but Utah State's going as well. We can't forget those guys over there.
Aggies?
And they're playing on Friday night, so they'll compete with the high school kids this week. The last time the Aggies played an overtime game nearly 2 years ago, it was a loss at Arkansas State. Well, this time Utah State gets the Red Wolves in Logan, but many of the current crop remember that last meeting very well.
I've got 3 linemen that played in that game. I've got a quarterback. Quarterback was on that trip. I've got Lawan Hunt that played in that game. Wyatt Houston played in that game. I got a lot of guys that played in that game. They remember Arkansas State. They know, and it's a competitive team and a very skillful team, and a team that's going to be very aggressive on offense and special teams.
The Utes' attention has turned to San Jose State this week. If they beat the Spartans on the road, Kyle Whittingham, get this, will improve to 20-1 all-time in non-conference play since joining the Pac-12. But chances are, if they rack up 6 turnovers again on Saturday like they did against BYU, they won't win. Utah was the first team since Maryland 2 years ago to have that many and still put up a victory.
All 11 guys got to play physical, whether it's a run or a pass, and take care of the football.
Our main key is just taking care of the ball, especially after that last game. We felt like we were doing a lot of right things during that game. We were able to move the ball. It was nothing really that we couldn't do. Just too many turnovers.
We had sloppy ball security, and that's on us as much as anything else. That's got to be job one, just like it is every week.
RSL has a little over 5 weeks left to their regular season. You may remember last year when their long playoff streak had come to an end. But the Claret and Cobalt are back in the thick of it again this year. The club is back home for 2 straight, beginning Saturday against Houston.
With Portland getting 3 points against us, it really tightens up everything. And, we want to make sure we're in, if we're not in first place, we're in second place and really trying to get out of that play-in game. We got to look at these next 2 games as 6-pointers, and if that happens, we're in a really good position.
How excited I am that we're going to be, most likely in the postseason this year. And you think about the same feeling last year about how you worked so hard the entire year, and then, it almost feels like for nothing. I think everybody wants to be in the postseason because, that's where you can make some memories and make some magical things happen.
Oh, yeah. So Houston at home this week, then first place FC Dallas the following week. If they win both of those games, like they have a good track record of doing at Rio Tinto, first place, here we come.
Soccer fans are holding their breath.
Thanks, Morgan.
Sure.
Up next, did someone capture Bigfoot on camera? We'll take a closer look.